started, but we'll soon see. Apparently we're live.
Welcome to the LFC Tribes transfer deadline stream. There's been a lot of transfers going on today, some absolutely massive transfers, including the likes of Aubameyang, Lucas Moura, and Olivier Giroud, which is all involving one of the top teams in the Premier League.
We're having a bit of a problem here with this mic.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Give us a wee minute. This is not good. Right, hopefully that's us working now, Jordan. Let me hear you.
Testing 1, 2.
Right. Hopefully this is it. Just give us a wee minute. Just the mic wasn't picking up.
Welcome to the LFC Tribes Transfer Deadline Day stream. Today, as being Transfer Deadline Day, is always frantic, hectic. And we've already seen some big names, big transfers happening. Which includes Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Borussia Dortmund to Arsenal, which is around 60 million. I think that's an incredible deal. Also Lucas Moura from PSG to Tottenham Hotspur. So again, there's been another hectic transfer deadline day. Loads of money spent. So in this stream, we'll go in the depth of the transfers, the benefits and the negatives in each team with their transfer business, and we'll see what they can do for the rest of the season. So starting off with probably the big one, Aubameyang from Borussia Dortmund to Arsenal. Is that an upgrade to a better club or a D grade?
I would love to say it's a D grade, but no. Premier League football and all, everyone hypes it up to be one of the best leagues in the world. So the only thing I've got is that Arsenal got beat by Swansea the other night, and I'd like to think Dortmund are getting into Champions League football next year, and at the minute Arsenal aren't. So
where's Dortmund in the league?
I'm not sure, but he's taking a massive risk by coming over. And
well, I think that league in the Bundesliga is just basically controlled by Bayern Munich. I mean, for example, one of the transfers there with Liverpool were linked to was Goretzka.
Yep.
I mean, he goes to Bayern Munich. They're going to win the league. They have the most money. Probably they are the best club in the Bundesliga. Dortmund, all Dortmund's players, end up going to Bayern Munich. E.J. Mario Götze, although he came back. There's Matt Hummels. I mean, all the top players that they had, they end up going there.
They go to Bayern. What else is there? There was part of that deal was Giroud and Batshuayi.
Yeah, it was sort of the transfer triangle. It says for the Aubameyang deal to go through, Dortmund needed to sign a replacement striker, which they wanted was Batshuayi, and Chelsea wanted Giroud. So it's just mind pickling the way it goes round. Sure. Another big one that was confirmed today was the Lucas Moura deal to Spurs.
Yep.
Now, he's always been a hot prospect. With PSG, you hear a lot about him, but he never got the chance, did he?
No, he's dead when he. Who is it he signed from? Someone in Brazil. Can't remember the team.
Was it Santos? No.
No.
No. Remember? I don't know why. Too many.
Anyway, he came from Brazil, went to PSG, and he seemed to be like one of the. He seemed like that was just when PSG were starting to get all the money and won it. That was at the very, very start. He was one of the first ones.
Yeah.
I think him and Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva, and I think Cavani.
Yeah.
He moved from Napoli.
Yeah, that was like when PSG first got all this big money as such. But I think that's a flipping class signing for Spurs. Like,
Yeah, I think he hasn't been proven yet, but usually Brazilians mean like a Willian, the wingers, Neymar, usually the produce.
yeah, definitely. So, basically, as you can see, we're live streaming for deadline day. So we're gonna be once we get into it here, we're gonna break down every transfer. So as soon as a transfer happens, you're gonna hear about it live, with multiple sources, all over the internet coming in. So hopefully get to you the quickest through here. We're gonna give you our thoughts on it. Please, there's a comment section, so make sure you hit the comments with questions. What do you think of this? Or even if you want to break news to us, we'll confirm it and put it out there. So definitely get involved, and it'll be better for us and you to interact with. So we're also going to break down the transfers of the whole window, not just as they happen, but in between. Obviously deadline day, we're coming in the last few hours, so there'll be transfers that have happened for the likes of Coutinho, Aubameyang we spoke on, Virgil van Dijk, Coutinho, Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Walcott. So you don't have to be specific to a certain club, just we're going to break down everything and from a neutral point of view. So
even if there's transfers even in other leagues that you want us to hear our opinion of, far ahead, no problem at all.
Yep.
More the merrier.
So may as well start off. He's a wee bit on fire at the minute as we're doing this. Obviously we're live. Everton are 2-0 up by 2 Theo Walcott goals. So that's a transfer that I think was mainly weighted behind England World Cup summer, looking a chance to play.
Yeah, when you think of it, when you put into that context, yeah, or context, sorry, I mean, Walcott, he is known for his pace. He always says that his preferred position was being a striker, but he just seemed one of those players, a wee bit like the Ox, was just comfortable, and then is now wanted to make the move. And the Ox, I mean, he's come on leaps and bounds. There's Walcott. Is it his debut? Is it? There he's scored 2 goals, and that scoring 2 goals in your debut just gives you confidence, and he could easily get into double figures in this.
Easily. That's what I was recommending a few close friends about putting them in your dream team. Maybe not.
And then he gets injured.
Yeah, well, true.
He's a bit like Sturridge, he can score, but the history there's, there's Sturridge away to West Brom. Is that good or is it bad? Personally, I think it's bad for Liverpool because, we've lost Coutinho. There's Gruitch out on loan. Ejaria. I think Ryan Kent's away. Ryan Kent is, and Harry Wilson. I think he's going to Hull maybe.
Yep.
So I think we're actually losing numbers, and for some reason Klopp's not bringing in, which I disagree with. And you look around, you see Arsenal, you see United, you see City. They're bringing in all these players, they're strengthening, and we're just getting weaker.
Yeah, definitely. Moving on, there's hundreds of transfers going in around the world here, but just trying to pick up all the interesting ones. Rival to Everton, Lookman, Adeli Lookman, or what's his name? Ademola Lookman. I don't know how you say that, but he's just made a loan deal to RB Leipzig, which they're flying. They're second in Germany. So
does that mean
like to me.
Hashtag welcome Timo Werner to Liverpool.
Flip, I wish. As I'm just gonna say that the both of us are how would you say it? Very enthusiastic Liverpool fans. We're obviously on a Liverpool-based channel, but tonight we're gonna try and make it as neutral as possible. So yes, Liverpool will obviously be talked about, but we're gonna try and stay neutral. And
Even if it's about the scum United.
yes, big time. So I'm James and Jordan's here tonight, so we're the two taking you through all the transfers. So there's another weird one to talk about our so-called rivals. Mkhitaryan going to Arsenal.
I think Mkhitaryan, he didn't get the chance at United. When he did play, he played well, but the only thing is he was very inconsistent.
Yeah.
We were, or well, keep going back to Liverpool, like, but we were linked with him before he went to Dortmund. He was a Shakhtar, and even when he played against Liverpool, in the Europa League that time, I mean, him and Aubameyang and Royce, they tore us apart. And to think, Aubameyang, and there's going to be Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil, Mkhitaryan, that there's just scary. Thinking about
if
that.
you take all the players in their prime, it would tear you apart, like, wouldn't it?
Easy.
Yeah.
But Aubameyang's only, what, 29?
Yeah.
So, I mean...
28 he is.
28. I mean, there's Arsenal. They're going out and they're buying established players.
Yeah.
That's something Liverpool fail to do. They take a chance on players like Lazar Markovic, 20 million flop, waste.
Talking to transfer news, is there any transfer news on him leaving Liverpool?
There actually is.
Has he went? Please tell me how.
No, well, apparently they're talking about a club in Europe, but let's see. Liverpool want him to go to a club in Europe, but he wants to stay in England.
Right. Why?
Possible Liverpool stay to warm up the reserves.
Lovely jubbly.
But
Right, so we're still getting people in here. The stream, obviously, it'll be up and down, but currently 5 people in watching. So remember to
very
hit the
popular.
like button, and obviously we're only a new channel starting out, so likes and subscribes would be greatly appreciated.
See breaking news here on Sky Sports that Mangala is at Everton's training ground for a season-long loan.
Really? They're playing a match, like, are they home? They're home to
Everton?
yeah.
Yeah, they are at home, man.
So they're playing a match while staff are putting through transfers. Right, well, keep that on the list. I'm gonna put that down. That's obviously one to watch for, because
It's getting close for time.
yeah. Well, what time are we at now?
But then they can get extended time, can they not, if they're or ask for it or some crap?
Maybe with loan deals as well, a wee bit more leniency because it's not an actual transfer. But so Mangala to Everton, flip. So
one of the biggest news of today is not really a transfer, but Mesut Ozil signing a contract at Arsenal.
yeah, true.
I think that is mega for Arsenal fans.
I think that had to be something to do with Aubameyang, didn't it? I'm not signing until you show intent, so I know that I'm signing for a good club and a club that's looking to do something.
Good club's a bit of a push, but
I don't mean as in like a good club or not. I mean that the club is trying to develop. It's trying to do something. It's not saying like we've spent all the money we're ever going to spend, sign this contract. Like, he wants to win trophies, obviously, which you can't really blame a guy for either. Like, but I think he sort of had not a clause in his contract, but part of the negotiations, like, sign Aubameyang. Like, they're like, I was going to say they're German teammates, but they're not. Aubameyang's played in Dortmund that long. You think he's German, but obviously the link. But don't know. I think it's a flipping that plus Aubameyang plus Mkhitaryan. Like, you've amazing potential. Like,
it's another thing to try and get the players playing together. But if they did, there's another Fab Four.
Yeah. big time.
Could even be better.
I'm just scrolling through the transfers here to see if anything's changed. If there's any big ones going through, but at the minute there's nothing jumping out. Few names I recognise. Until you said there earlier, I actually can't believe that Oliver Giroud went to Chelsea. That's like, there's a player in there somewhere. Like,
I think that there's a joke. I don't understand why clubs would sell to their rival.
To their rivals, yeah.
Especially,
Sure,
see,
we've seen it in the summer. Matic was even more of a shock for me. Chelsea to
Yeah.
United.
I mean, I know Sanchez was able to speak, to City or to United, but I mean, there was even Van Persie that time, and Arsenal sold him to United, and he went and basically single-handedly won them the Premier League,
I know.
and he had like 2 seasons that were just incredible.
So we're going to try and focus mainly on the Premiership English transfers, but we'll dip in and out of if there's any big names going elsewhere. But there's one there. It's just raised a wee bit. Isaac Success was playing at Watford,
Yeah.
so he's just had a loan deal confirmed for Malaga in Spain. There's him.
Did he not play there before?
He might have,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure he did.
There's also another name there, ex-Premier League, Demba Ba. Has left SH Shenhua in the Chinese Super League for Göztepe in
Breaking
Turkey.
news:
Go for it.
Swansea have re-signed Andre Ayew.
Who's he at? West Ham?
West Ham, 20 million.
Oh,
think.
is that
on
breaking
BBC
right now?
Sport. Yeah.
Well, as said at the start, we are the place for the current breaking news, so we'll also keep an eye on that. Is it signed or is it just in this?
Re-signed, yeah. Done,
so it's
dusted.
done, right? Very good. That's.
I have to.
Did
I have to
Do
watch.
they
this.
already have an IU fan? There's that many of them. I'm confused.
Jordan Ayew's brother.
Are both now at Swansea?
Yeah, I just seen Phil Jones OG there. It's hilarious.
So as we're talking, Spurs are currently beaten. I'll actually run through the scores just in case none of you have access. Big shocker. Starting off, Bournemouth 1, Chelsea 0 at Stamford Bridge.
Wilson.
I'll tell you right now. Callum Wilson, 51st minute. So that's just went in 2 minutes ago. Everton still leading 2-0 with a brace from Walcott. Newcastle Burnley 1 each. Southampton 0, Brighton 1. Man City 1, West Brom 0. Stoke, Watford 0-0, and Spurs are leading at half time 2-0. So Chelsea, that's a big shocker in there. Chelsea also playing with no striker. Hazard's playing sort of like up front as such, but there's no Morata, no strikers. So.
No Batshuayi because he let him go.
Exactly. So
Slap it up him.
no Giroud either. Not yet.
No, he's still in the stands. Hey man, who's the other boy that signed? Emerson or something? Some left
From
back.
Roma, Flipper's another transfer we'd forgotten about. Yeah.
I've never heard of him.
No, I've watched them a few times. I'm a good fan of Italy or Italian football. So
There's not many fans of it nowadays.
no, very quick player. I think. Again, I haven't seen much of him. But
Brazilian, isn't he?
yeah, I know the name. So what is he, a left back?
Yeah, another Marcelo or Alexandro.
So yeah. So we're getting comments here from sorry about these names by the way because they're all usernames. So Mod Afif, is the window closed now? And what time is it now? So we're working off the English transfer.
UK time.
Yep. So at the minute it is 5 to 9. So that gives 2 hours and 5 minutes until the window shuts. I have a funny feeling all the windows shut at different times. It's not like 11 o'clock here and at the exact same second transfer windows shut all around the world. They've all their
could be
own.
different hours or
I think Germany shut.
day extra or something.
No, Germany shut at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So there is. I can see where you're coming from. There is certain windows that have shut. So there's another comment there. JW Overgrey TV. I do not know what you're trying to say. Escrito Ricambi. Not sure if you can break it down. And Modafif, if sorry about your name if that's right or wrong. Alright, thanks for the update. So yes, thanks for joining in on the stream. Hopefully there's plenty more. So remember to drop likes and subscribe. We're going to be here until 11 o'clock, so in our 2 hours and 5 minutes. And thanks for interacting with the stream. On that, there's another comment in there from Mocha Rahal. He's looking news on Riyad Mahrez. Have you anything to break on that? You were mentioning it earlier there.
It seems that Man City have actually pulled out.
Really?
Yeah, they've pulled out. It seems that they've went in. I think it's 3 offers or 4 offers. The last offer, was cash plus a player, and the total amount was raised to about 95 million.
Right. That's a bit steep, isn't it?
Very steep. Personally, I don't rate Mahrez that much. I think he's a good player in a mediocre team or average team. But no, it looks like he's going to be staying at Leicester, and there is reports coming out that he seems depressed with the attitude or behaviour how Leicester dealt with the whole transfer saga.
Yeah, well, I was a bit surprised because there's Modafif back with staying here for the Liverpool transfer update. So we'll merge the Liverpool transfer update and the Mahrez thing together. Start of the window, or maybe middle of January there was Mahrez to Liverpool, rumoured fee of 50 to 55 million or something, and I think a load of Liverpool fans nearly would have bit their arm off for it. But at the same time, there was a lot of talk around Lamar.
Well, it looks like any deal for Lamar is going to be the summer. I think, as we've seen with Jurgen Klopp, that he is patient for the players he wants. Like Naby Keita. He's going to arrive here on the 1st of July. So I think I'm happy enough to wait, an extra couple of months. Maybe it might determine what our season will finish, but, you might as well get the player you want and not someone or panic buy who will make no difference or could end up ruining your season for you.
Yep. Yeah, but that's what, Mahrez was originally 55 million. I'm sitting going I'm not sure if as a Liverpool fan I would want that 55 million, player. He is very, as you've seen there, he's apparently depressed, and depression isn't something to joke about or talk about like that, in a bad way, but to me that's trying to force your way out, and he is a very moody player, not anything to do with depression, but 1 minute he's the best player in the Premier League, next minute he's nowhere to be seen for months. He's so inconsistent. But apparently Leicester City's valuation of Mahrez was £95 million.
No, if he's worth 95 million, then the Ox is worth about 200 million, because don't get me started.
We've had Jordan's wee soft spot here. He's not liking this one, but again, so been talking to you here in all the comments. Keep all the comments going. It keeps the stream alive. It helps more people join, and obviously we can interact a wee bit better with you guys. So it's not transfer news, but not saying I'd like to see any player getting injured, but there's news in here literally just 3 minutes ago that there's a Man City player had to go off injured. Fair enough, City are that far away in the league that it'll hardly matter, but
depends who it is.
But as a player, to lose a player, it's probably a good thing for the rest of the teams in the league. But going through the circumstances of what he's just recently went through, David Silva has went off hurt, and I know he's having a lot of problems with
family or something.
Yeah, he has a child that was born prematurely, very, very sick.
Right, I haven't heard on. I knew it was family problems.
So he had been missing for a few weeks and then only doing the bench. So it's sad to see him going off injured there, but it could have happened to a lot, worse players as such. But Fair enough, he's a rival to a lot of clubs, but I'd like to see David Silva. Hopefully, it's nothing too shocking. I think he's had a bit of a rough time. So there we go. We're inside the last 2 hours. It's 1 minute past 9, so we're inside the last 2 hours of transfer deadline day. So really, this is a time where anything that's going to happen needs to start really picking up. If it's not starting to pick up a wee bit of weight now, it's there's not much chance of getting it over the line. What was the transfer there you were saying about Newcastle? Who was that?
Newcastle have signed Leicester striker Slimani on loan.
Right.
So that's a strange one. I thought it looked like Iheanacho was going to be the one heading out, but no, it seems Slimani. Obviously, he doesn't, or Claude Poole doesn't rate Slimani that much, or have him as part of his plans for the squad.
Yep.
Again, the squad is built around Vardy and Mahrez, but it'll be interesting, when the window shuts here in the next couple of games, how Mahrez will be treated. Will he be left out? Will he be punished? Will he be still in the team?
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to watch that, and it seems to be so far anyway that Mahrez seems to be one of the big talking points of the deadline day. There's another done deal coming through there. Stoke have signed midfielder Badu Ndiaye from Turkish club Galatasaray for £15 million. So it's just confirmed there they were waiting on a work permit. So Stoke, I think they're in dire need of a few signings, aren't they?
Yeah, Stoke, they haven't had the greatest of seasons. I think every club would like to have additional. Stoke, they're one of the smaller clubs that don't have the sufficient funds to bring in top players.
Yep.
In the summer there they sold Arnautovic to West Ham. He had his good days and bad days, and in fairness, they've kept hold of Shaqiri, who used to play for Bayern Munich. Thought absolute world beater, won Champions League and all. But I don't think he's what would you say? He's made him put himself in the spotlight around in the Premier League. He hasn't been shit hot.
Yeah.
I thought there is some world class goals he scored. Got away from him, but there's just lacking something that the final third of his game he misses. But yeah, Stoke, that's a good sign for them. I don't know much about him, but £15 million, that's quite a lot of money for a lower. When the lower team's doing transfers, that's quite a lot of money. So he must have got his man.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get here, trying to get a timer up just to let you know what time it is, just where we are locally. Just hopefully Jordan can keep the stream going for us here while I muck about with this.
Yeah. So I was going to go through the top teams in the Premier Leagues with their transfer deals. So I think we'll start off with who's top of the league, which is Manchester City. A big signing they signed was yesterday. They completed was Laporte. He's a young French centre back from Atletico Bilbao.
Yep.
He was always good to pick up in FIFA career mode. I know that.
Big time.
But there's maybe if Liverpool didn't sign Van Dijk could have been a City player. Who knows? But there's City.
No, that's not wanting to work.
Bringing in more depth into the squad. I mean, we're presuming that they're letting Mangala go here.
Oh yes, so that was
to
another
Everton.
one. That was another one we had to watch for, wasn't it? It's, where was he? Everton. So he's now at the training ground to Goodison Park or whatever.
He's doing his medical thing.
Right, very good.
So they've brought in quality again. yes, he's not proven in the Premier League, but you know he's young. It's time to adjust. There was a whole in the summer. We all thought Alexis Sanchez was going to go to City for 50 million, and it's turned out that he's actually went to United.
Yeah.
But there's been reports that City pulled out. That at first Sanchez wanted to go to United, but he pulled the plug on it and says, or Pep pulled the plug. Firstly, probably because his wage demands. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is, but I've heard reports that it's 500k and a week, and he's getting £50 a minute. That does
£50 a minute.
It's something really stupid. It's ridiculous.
Me.
And I think Pep sort of says when you bring in a player to City that are performing so well in the league, and they pull the plug, I don't know what I mean. I get mixed up here. No, so they bring in a player with 500k
Yep.
a week, and then all your top players of your club like Kevin De Bruyne, Aguero, and they're saying, hang on here, you know, we're performing, we're winning the league, and this guy comes in and he's a top earner.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
you think that's going to bring in upset in the changing rooms, relationships with players? So I think that's the main reason. And then you see Kevin De Bruyne signs a contract at City.
Otamendi signed a contract too.
Yeah.
As you said, you know, they have to keep everyone happy as such, but
that's what you sort of. We'll go back to Liverpool when, you know, he's club doing the rotation is probably to try and keep players happy. You know, when Mignolet, he sort of when he was told he's being dropped in a way of Karius being number one, Mignolet says, "Oh, it's World Cup and all, and I need to play from a place and all." And there was rumours like Napoli and we're gonna come in for him, but don't think anyone's happening. Yeah,
no, not at the minute. Just going to give another big shout out to Jordan, who's keeping the stream going at the minute here. I'm doing all the background, so sorry if I'm being quiet. What I will say is head over to our Twitter page. Our Twitter page at the minute is where we announce everything, where we talk when we're not streaming or when we're not doing the podcast. So head over and follow us, and the next 10 people that follow us, put your at username in the comments on YouTube and we'll follow you back. So that's the next 10 people that are on following us on Twitter. We'll get that done. So also we've launched this week our Patreon page. I'll link it on Twitter and hopefully in the comments as well, and would appreciate all your support over there. So yeah, we'll dig back into the transfers. There's really world changing transfers just gone through. Gary Medine, goal machine apparently, has just signed from Bolton Wanderers and joined Cardiff. So that's a championship transfer for £6 million. Striker in the championship, that's a hefty enough fee, like, isn't it?
It is, yeah. But I think money's gone nuts these days.
It has. It's went completely. It's hard to know what. Like we were saying there, like you look at what was Aubameyang, 60 million. Like 60 million would have been like whoa. Like remember like last year when people were offering for Coutinho and stuff, like they were talking 60s and 70s, and you're like, right, that's mega money. You remember Suarez and stuff went for that, and did Ronaldo even go to Real Madrid for something like that?
He went for 80 million.
Yeah, so like that is massive fees, you know. But now 80 million, like Van Dijk was 75, like. It's
blown out of
proportion. It's hard to
proportion.
know where you sort of stand. So
you know, I mean, when you take the football perspective out of it, it is really, you know, wrong the amount of money in football. Like when you see all the stuff going on in the world, it's a joke. But let's focus back on the football, the main thing. Seen there that Arsenal got a bid rejected for our wee country centre back, Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
He's injured with a muscle injury. I think he got at Anfield when they beat us.
Right.
But apparently there is rumours that they are going to go for another defender, but still seems nothing has been released yet.
Right, so I've just linked the stream there on Twitter. So remember, guys, the next 10 people to follow will all get followed back.
Going back onto the top teams, so we sort of touched on City there for a bit. We'll now move on to we'll go on to United, who's second, which is, I hate talking about them. Only if I'm slagging them off, it's only a good thing. United, big signing, Alexis Sanchez, probably the second or third biggest sort of transfer of the month.
Yep.
What's your opinion on it?
There's two ways of looking at it. You can look at it saying it's a free transfer, going class, any club in the world would take him, and then originally it was like 300 grand a week, and I'm going, why? That's ridiculous. And then apparently it's closer to 800 grand a week.
Is it?
Apparently. Apparently the transfer fee was just turned into
And what age is
wage.
it? What age is it? 29?
Something like that. He's around 30, like.
I mean, the way I look at it, if he was world class, you know, absolutely world beater, why wasn't like a Barcelona or Real Madrid sniffing?
Then again, he came from Barca. There was something there that he didn't like. You know, who knows?
Was he not under Pep Guardiola, and then he wanted to go on back to Pep Guardiola?
True, actually, never even considered that. Good point.
Um,
What about Pep Guardiola's pull? There's Sanchez wanting to go back originally, ended up getting hijacked by United, probably by money more than anything.
on
but-
Mourinho's pull, because he's a
true.
god.
But what about Laporte in? Like, City surely could sign anyone they want, really. Probably a guaranteed Premier League's medal under Pep Guardiola, silly money. Like, who's not going to sign?
Well, as you say, they are going to win the Premier League. I think it's inevitable. I think players now, you know, it's World Cup this year, and they want to be playing. I mean, as you touched on, Walcott looking to go and play for England. Maybe I was the same for Ox.
Yep.
I mean, Mahrez, I don't understand that. I mean, he's not going to get ahead of Sané. I know he's injured. He's not going to get ahead of Sterling, who's on, I think, 14 goals this season.
Yeah, true.
Not
Did
De
you see
Bruyne.
that? Sorry to cut you out, but did you see that tackle on him the other night?
You're
in the
Bennett.
FA Cup? Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a shocker.
I know how long he's out for, a couple of months, but I don't. If he was to be signed for a replacement for Sané for those couple of months, I don't think 95 million sort of. That's just nuts.
I know, isn't it? I'm just doing a wee update. So Chelsea from. So there's 7 years ago to the day. Chelsea to Liverpool transfer, £50 million. Fernando Torres happened exactly 7 years ago.
The day it broke my heart. Torres.
Same day, transfer deadline day, Liverpool signed Andy Carroll, 35 million, and Luis Suarez.
Donkey Carroll. Yeah, he was going to go to Chelsea, but they got their man Giroud now.
So there's confirmation of what you've just said. Arsenal have had a Johnny Evans approach rejected by West Brom. I'm actually gonna check that. West Brom are playing tonight, aren't they? Johnny Evans he went off hurt against us in the FA Cup, or he didn't go off, but I seen him limping. Yeah, so Johnny Evans isn't playing tonight.
Holy shit! Chelsea are 3-0 down. The Bournemouth.
No way.
Yeah.
Right. Shocker. Nathan Ake, is he on loan from them, or did he move?
No, they bought him. I think 20 million or something they bought him last summer.
No way, 20 million for him.
Something like that, aye.
Flip, you're right, 22 million euro. Flipping. That's fucking nuts. Newcastle beating Burnley. Everton 2-1 now with Leicester. Southampton have equalised against Brighton. City still 1-0. 0-0 Stoke Watford, and Tottenham are still holding out 2-0 against United. So there's a quick score update to throw in the midst of all the transfers. There is Bordeaux are closing in on signing Middlesbrough striker Martin Braithwaite on loan, with the chance of making that a permanent deal in summer. Mentioned Demba Ba earlier for Gus Tepe. No, just to keep us going, what did you think of Laporte getting dropped straight into the Man City team?
Who are they playing again? West Brom.
Yep.
He obviously shows confidence in them. I think City so far this season, by the Liverpool game, have been untouchable really.
Yep.
And I think it is a strange move because you throw someone in, could just upset the whole defence and, they could collapse.
No, it's a risky time to throw someone in, like, and not, you're miles clear of the league, and that, like, do you think the flipping players are going to have available if everyone's fit? Who have you got? Company, Mangala, but Mangala's maybe a loan deal to Everton.
Yeah.
So, but he's still a City player. So Mangala, Company, Laporte, Stones,
Otamendi.
Flip me, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's like 2 or 3 world class flipping like centre back pairs. You've Benjamin Mendy, that was world defender transfer record in the summer. Kyle Walker then beat that. You've Danilo from Real Madrid. You've that is fucking insane. There's no other words about that.
I think I seen something on Facebook or something that City have spent more money on their back line than United have in their whole team.
That's fucking, I can't believe that. I knew they were good and they had a lot, but that's next level, really, isn't it?
It's far. It's just nuts.
So what time are we at now? We're 9:20, so there's an hour and 40 minutes left of a deadline day. Hopefully you stick with us. Just looking at this here on Twitter, obviously you guys can't see it, but I'm gonna show Jordan. You can hear his reaction.
Oh, is this
Sky Sports pundit getting a dildo in his ear.
There's some famous ones like.
No, that's a famous one going back a couple of years. I think most of you transfer fans out there anyway will have seen it. Quote Pep Guardiola: "There are salaries we cannot pay. There are budgets for transfers, so we cannot pay." Makes a 55 million bid for Riyad Mahrez.
Damn.
Alrighty then. Yeah, so we're taking a wee bit of a slow spell here in the window and all. I think that mentioned at the very, very start the stream, but Lucas for Spurs, what a signing. Like, they're beating United 2-0 and they're still out signing. That's what fears, as I said, Liverpool fans, that what fears us, yes, we're winning, but we need a certain squad out, and you can't sort of substitute in anyone without making a difference to the team. But no, fair play to Spurs. I think that's a class signing, so it is. There's Batshuayi videos of him completing his medical. That was done. Giroud and his Chelsea top.
Oh.
What do you call him?
Rylan or something.
That's good. Anyone that wants to see what we're talking about, that's been retweeted on our Twitter page at the LFC Tribe. That's quite funny.
I'm just scanning through here. So, biggest transfers so far on deadline day are Aubameyang, Giroud, Lucas Moura, probably. I think that's how you said it. Lucas Moura or Lucas.
Lucas
yeah.
Moura, I don't know about it.
They seem to be the biggest, don't they? We'll keep a wee track, see what's happening. This evening's attendance, Wembley Stadium, 81,978. Some crowd for a Premier League match, isn't it?
Aye, but that's because Liverpool and Spurs got the record at Wembley at 83,000. Just shows we have more supporters than United. Shite United.
Dude, trying to remember, we're going through that many transfers here. Obviously, it's hard to remember some. But did you mention that Slimani deal
To Newcastle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one I think sort of surprised me a bit. A transfer that happened was Ross Barkley to Chelsea.
Yeah, that's probably one very worth commenting on, at least, isn't it?
I mean, is he starting tonight? He probably is.
He did, yes, and they're 3-0 down.
Yeah, so it was a really weird one. It's something that I thought maybe a few years ago, but
He's still young, is he not? He's like 24, 25. I think there's still a lot of potential in him. Whether he gets the time at Chelsea, he could just be like another Jack Rodwell. Go to City and
I remember him. Does he still play? No.
he's at Sunderland in the Championship.
here's how much I follow that.
Aye, but he could be another Jack Rodwell and lose a plot, or he could be a Jack Wilshere who gets loaned out to Bournemouth, has an okay season, then comes back and is a world beater.
I'm just seeing there that Lucas Moura or whatever was £25 million.
Was it?
25 million. That sounds so cheap
But
in today's market.
if you look at it though, with PSG, they're probably looking to sell players so they
It's
don't
for
get
financial fair play. But
exactly.
surely he's worth more than that. No.
But they haven't been that much, proven to be worth any more than that.
25 years old. 25 million. Brazilian. He's played for Brazil and stuff before from PSG. £25 million.
Yes.
We'll go back to the comments here. Keelan Dawson is looking at LFC update.
LFC update.
Today was full of loan deals on it. There was Ajaria. Who'd he go to?
He went to Sunderland on loan.
Obviously with Sturridge out, West Brom on a loan. Danny Ings was refused to leave the club. I'm not sure if he was personally looking to go, but there was a lot of rumours before Sturridge went that maybe it was Danny Ings, so he's staying with the club. No, one of the main outstanding ones is probably not really transfer news, is Emre Can's contract on it.
That's another thing. I mean, would you start a player in your team, make him captain if he's going to leave at the end of the season?
Not if you were adamant he was going to leave. I think there's something in there that he's still getting on, like he's undecided whether Klopp believes it or doesn't believe it. But yeah, there has to be something that's making him get all this. I think he was man of the match for me last night against Huddersfield. I thought he was brilliant.
He was good, yeah. He showed it shows that he's a box to box midfielder. I think if he does go, it looks like Naby Keita will be his replacement. But he was never really a CDM. I thought Henderson actually done well for once. I'm not a great fan of Henderson. I always thought he just passed sideways or back to the defence or keeper.
Yeah.
But no, I thought some of his passing, some of his long range passing was very good as well. But no, I thought Can, again, he probably was my man of the match. But even Firmino, his finish was something else. You just don't see that really. Back to the transfer news that you were asking about. Lloyd Jones joins Luton from Liverpool on loan. I think it's not on loan. It's for an undisclosed fee.
Right.
And
Sounds
apparently
about-
Wolfsburg hold Markovic interest, and Liverpool still expect Markovic to leave,
Really?
but there's still no updates for when he gets the boot.
So is there anything else coming in there live, is there?
Not how long? We'll see here, maybe or maybe not.
I'll just remind you, any of you guys that have so-called breaking news on transfers, don't be afraid to bomb them down in the comment section and we'll answer, and definitely look up on it.
Nah, it's really sort of lower teams in the Championship or League One are making signings. Really, there's no point really touching on them.
Looks like Crystal Palace will sign Alexander Sorloth from Midtjylland, fee around £9 million for a Norwegian international striker. That's one.
Never heard of them.
Either of a.
So, who you gonna go for your top four at the end of the season?
What do you, as in Premier League top
Premier
four
League
finish?
top four finish.
City, I think, are too far ahead now. City have won it.
Yep, City have.
It's not like if you would have been sort of in what Liverpool's situation are, where you'd sold maybe a key player like De Bruyne or something, I would have said there's a chance, but
Too far ahead now. And they've only been signing, so they've only got stronger.
City win the league. And it's a toss up really between, I think, Chelsea, who this there at the minute, Chelsea, Liverpool,
United.
United.
Shite United.
I think it'll be United.
And second?
Well, I wasn't going to put an order to it,
Oh, fair enough then.
just as in the top four. City win, United, Liverpool, and Spurs. I'll go in any order. It literally could be any order.
So Chelsea don't make it.
No, they're getting beat 3-0 by Bournemouth.
Yeah, that's, if you think about it, there's them two. There's Chelsea and United. Both have dropped
yes.
points, and we've gained 3 points. So we're now, are we 3 points behind them both?
I will get that officially for you in a second.
You know, if we beat Swansea, we, could have helped us out a bit. But
Flipping right,
We'll be tied second.
if it beats Swansea, that's depressing, isn't it?
So back on to Liverpool news, a bit of the transfer. One of the sort of main departures was Sturridge leaving to West Brom.
Yep.
Would you cap Sturridge over Ings and Solanke, or
Yes, but
yeah? I think he's injury prone.
true. Part of me's like, go, and like a few of my mates and stuff have been saying, oh, he'll go and he'll play well. You don't want that, but West Brom are so far away. They're rock bottom of the league. Like, what? As long as he doesn't do it against us, I'd like to think there's a clause in there that he can't play against us, but go out, hopefully get 10, fucking 12 goals, get the World Cup somehow, and it could be fucking revival, and you could end up starting next season with a fucking striker that you can't drop again. He's proven that he's had it before, so why the fuck can't he get it back? So part of me's doing right, that's the best possible thing ever to happen. Say, look, Liverpool have talked about letting you go for months. We're actually letting you go now. This is your last chance. Loan. Next time it won't be a loan. You're fucking gone. So I think it's a big wake up call for him, and hopefully it'll do him the world of good.
If we compare the front three we have now and to Brendan Rodgers front three. So that would have been Suarez,
SAS.
Sturridge, and Coutinho. I
Oh.
wouldn't put Sterling 'cause he's shite. Exactly. To Mane, Firmino, and Salah. What would you rather have?
R1 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the joy it's given me, especially up to Christmas, there was just. You met. It's only really now I'm starting to really appreciate Bobby. Bobby is in
yeah.
Firmino. If you would have asked me, could I had the two wingers and Suarez, I would have taken it. But Suarez to me hasn't been impressing over at Barca, not this season anyway. But if I was to pick, if you were to say Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, and Salah, I would change Mane at the minute. Mane has been horrible, absolutely horrible. So he has, but
I mean, I wonder, you know, when he started at Liverpool this first season, did he not play out in the right? You know, where Salah's playing, and that's where he made, like, even the first,
True.
yeah, his first game against Arsenal, and he scored and all, and
true actually.
I think he seems to struggle to beat players now. You know, I remember in an interview he says that I come up to a player and, you know, he just thinks in his head, I'm quicker than you, I can beat you. But it just doesn't seem he has that confidence.
I know.
I wonder, is it the rival of Salah? Is Salah having the spotlight a bit? Is he sort of in the shadow?
True. Moving on a wee bit here. We're now at just went over 9:30, so we're an hour and a half away from deadline. You haven't really missed too much in terms of Premier League signings for this window yet. I'll put in. So start off 11:15 this morning. Aubameyang confirmed. Then 4:45. So there was a 5.5 hour gap there of no transfers, and then Arsenal sold Giroud to Chelsea. An hour later, 5:45. There was Didier Ndong from Sunderland to Watford, which is a loan deal. Then 6:30, Lucas Moura, PSG to Tottenham, £25 million. And then we're starting to come into the transfers that we've covered live. So Andrew Ayew, West Ham to Swansea, 18 million. And the finish, well, hopefully not to finish off. Hopefully we'll have a few late ones, but Badu Ndiaye from Galatasaray to Stoke for £14 million. So remember to hit up that comment. If just looking at the comments, Zian Sampson has commented Salah. Oh, Mane. That video is on our YouTube channel, which obviously you're watching the stream on at the minute, so go on and check it out. But yeah, comment for any transfers that you think, that you've heard rumours for that could get over the line, and also what about doing a wee section to get us through the last hour and a half of anyone watching, if they could put your club in the comments and do the best signing, or if you could pick a player who you would sign. Try and keep it as realistic as possible. Don't be going Leyton Orient, Lionel Messi type of job. But, you know, like, for example, Liverpool probably would have taken, my pick would have been Lamar, Thomas Lamar from Monaco. I think he would have been, if he would have offered me, just due to the fact that we lost Coutinho, and a bold statement, we knew we needed, even if we kept Coutinho, we needed to make the statement with Virgil van Dijk for the defence. So I think that was happening regardless, but just in terms of losing Coutinho, I think Lamar would have been a good transfer. So that would be mine. So remember to drop your team and drop who you wished you could have signed. And if you're feeling like you're bored and want something else to do, drop in a rating out of 10 on how you think your team performed in the transfer window. So for Liverpool, I'll go for a 6.
All 6 of that being Van Dijk. Minus 2 points for selling Coutinho and gaining another 2 points for not wasting money on a fucking Lazar Markovic. So for Liverpool, I'm going to give a 6 out of 10. So let us know what your teams and what your transfers will be, and we'll burn through them all hopefully here in the next 5 or 10 minutes, or to get us through the last hour and a half. Not too much coming in there live at the minute, so hopefully we've still an hour and a half, so hopefully we'll get a wee rush of transfers, like a wee fucking Fernando Torres or something.
Andy Carroll jobby.
There's a talking point. What did you think of bizarre transfers this window? So you mentioned Andy Carroll. Noticed Chelsea were linked with a striker. Obviously they've Giroud now, but did you see some of the ridiculous people they were linked with? Started off with Peter Crouch. There was a genuine fucking rumour that Peter Crouch was signing for Chelsea. Then there was another one, Barnes from
Ashley Barnes from Burnley.
Yeah. Like that, surely they're not Chelsea quality, like.
I think Chelsea were looking for an alternate attacking force or option. Although, what is Morata? You know, is he one of these ones that he can beat players with pace? Is he strength? Is he good in the air? I mean, obviously, if they're going to buy off the bought Giroud, they're looking at physical sort of presence. But that there was, you know, no offence to any of the players, like, but they're lower class players. You know, Chelsea, who were champions last season, for buying that type of quality, you would think that, you know, that basically they should be bringing in Nakin Felma. You know, some bit of physicality in them.
I'm gonna go straight in with an apparent rumour that Marwan Fellaini is leaving Manchester United, even though he's a substitute tonight. So, just to put it out there before you all get worried, it is a joke. Substituted on the 63rd minute and substituted off on the 70th minute. He lasted 7 minutes. So the apparent rumour is that he got subbed on and then got a notification from the sideline saying, "We've received a bid and we want rid of you, come off." But it was really for an injury. He got injured and had to go off. But yeah, Fellaini lasted 7 minutes. Couldn't happen to a better person. Prick. So just to burn down through, Chelsea Bournemouth full time 3-0 Bournemouth, 2-1 Everton against Leicester. So Walcott has been instant hero. Newcastle Burnley 1 each. Southampton Brighton 1 each. Man City have scored again. Kevin De Bruyne again. 2-0 against West Brom. Stoke Watford boring 0-0. And Tottenham lead 2-0 against Manchester United with 7 minutes to go.
That looks like a Spurs win. Can't wait to go into work tomorrow and slobber to all United fans, because they give me all the stick about West Brom and Swansea. So slap it up them. But yeah, there's really 2 good results for Liverpool. You know, Chelsea getting beat, United getting beat. We're getting closer, bringing them in.
I have a funny feeling that there's a Manchester United fan in the chat at the minute. Not in the chat, sorry, watching the stream. Because there's just been a dislike dropped. And we're talking about United. So if you're a United fan, go fuck yourself.
Exactly, well said.
Talk about any club in here fairly, except United. So, what are we on now? 19 minutes until they are. We'll get the big dong, ding dong. 1 hour to go. You know, like Jim White and Sky Sports?
You
seen
the
it?
yellow ties on.
Yes. Both of us have our yellow ties on at the minute. So, just in case any of you are new about here, I know there has been a couple of new subscribers there.
getting notifications in. So what we do is we're a podcast channel with a few sort of funny videos up. We've also started a new series for doing player ratings, which we need to do for Huddersfield last night. But I'll do that tomorrow. So there'll be videos live, hopefully twice a week. Sunday night podcast, me and Jordan will be recording that. Breaking down every single Liverpool match, right down to what we thought teams should be, player ratings, where they could improve, stuff for the next match, and where we are in the league, and literally everything start to finish. Then we're doing, hopefully we're trialing it at the minute, but a player rating video, so we'll score each player, how they done out of 10 in the match, and give a few wee comments. There's one already on our channel, so especially if you're a Liverpool fan, hit the subscribe button. We're up and coming, so there's 2 videos a week, and stay tuned and drop a like and share. And if you like the content, make sure you bring all your fellow Liverpool fans that are friends of yours in. Give us a wee bit of a shout out and help us push this out here. So that's what we are and what we'll do, and we appreciate all the support. The live chat's went a wee bit dead, just like the market at the minute. No transfers going through. Imagine there was a couple of billion transfers going through. Billion worth of money, and we didn't know what to do with ourselves because there was that many transfers. We didn't know which one to call out. It was Messi to Liverpool,
You just turn it off.
Neymar to Liverpool.
I too busy sit and watch the TV, just desperate on social media, look for any leaked photos or anything. So what about, we sort of touched on Chelsea a bit. What about this new left back? Really,
The Roma boy.
I mean, is he just going to be a backup to Marcus Alonso, or is he going to start?
You'd wonder what really encourages players to go. Like, Alonso's some player, like, you know, like, you'd have to be really, really big ego there to be going and taking his position hands down, you know. As Piliqueta as well can play in there. He was playing there last season, wasn't he? He's normally a right back, like, but he can play.
He's been playing centre back this season. You know, he hasn't particularly got the height for it, like, but some of the tackles, like, I think he's very underrated.
I'm just gonna pull up here. Gonna get the details of him. He'll be shitting himself a wee bit at the minute because Chelsea got fucking duffed.
Conte on his way out.
No, he's a manager I just refuse to like.
I
Not for being Chelsea,
prefer him.
it's just-
I prefer him over Mourinho.
Fact, Mourinho's just.
I think that's what ruined him, was the whole mind games between Mourinho and Conte. That's, you know, he bit, and that was the problem.
Just while I'm looking for this player, I'm gonna get the details on him. What about breaking down? Just while I'm on the Roma squad here, what about breaking down?
Roma goalkeeper Alisson.
Well, as far as I'm aware, we were linked. Liverpool were linked with Alisson. At the minute, he is keeping out Ederson, the Manchester City goalkeeper from Brazil #1 spot.
Yeah.
So, and Brazil do have quite a lot of good keepers. Like I said, Ederson. A couple of years back, they had Julio Cesar. There was Diego Alves, Neto.
Yep.
And he seems to be. He's had some eye-catching performances in the Serie A this season, and you know, Liverpool are in desperate need of a keeper. Although in fairness, I thought Karius done well against Huddersfield last night.
Yeah.
He seemed confident. He came out. He was a good sort of sweeper keeper, I thought. And then for corners, he came out and he collected it. and I thought his kicking and distribution was very good.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Liverpool, I think, have a bit of a goalkeeper situation. We're not gonna lie, but I think Klopp's done the right thing, and he's given Karius, like, we weren't gonna get anywhere with Mignolet. We're not gonna go into great detail on it. We've broke us down multiple times in our podcast. So the minute we're 3 weeks into our podcast. We didn't do one on Sunday, so because we knew this live stream and stuff was coming up for transfer deadline day, so we're gonna keep doing that on Sunday. Let us know if you enjoy the sort of live experience, because we've quite enjoyed here answering comments and stuff
Doing it.
from YouTube as it comes in, which you don't get with a podcast, as you record it and then upload it. But let us know what you think, if you prefer it like this. We might even do it live for a few weeks, or if you really prefer it, we might just do it permanently live. Might get a better interaction. Also go on the Twitter pages and Facebook. We would really appreciate your support on there, because we'll tweet out have you any questions for a Q&A segment in our podcast, and
There's been a few tweets in over the last few weeks, and we're able to answer them, just like we've done tonight in the stream. So
there's currently 7 people in watching, so we appreciate all the support we're getting. So remember to hit them comments. Any transfers you want to happen, any transfers you wished would have happened, how your club's done out of 10 in the transfer window, just throw it all down there and you interact with the stream. Just putting the stream live up here on Facebook, not the actual stream, just the link to it for all our followers on Facebook to get onto it.
You do the same for Instagram?
No, I haven't.
Can you do that? Or
Yes,
is it
I'll do.
possible?
You can keep the stream busy or keep them amused.
Of course I will. So we'll have a quick look, see if there's anything else, anything eye catching with any more transfers from deadline day. It really does seem very quiet.
Really quiet on it.
Let's see. Yeah, there hasn't been any eye-catching transfers. So overall, this January transfer window, out of 10, what would you rate it?
From a club basis or as a full?
As a full for an English transfer window, out of 10, is it a good, what would you say, with the business, does it make the Premier League more attractive?
I think we've seen that a lot. You've seen how long's what do you call him, Aubameyang being linked with clubs in England? There's been City, there's been Liverpool, there's
Chelsea.
been Chelsea, Arsenal. So like you've players like that are, yes, it's not like, ignore the whole Liverpool link here, but there's been many a club linked with players like that, and they've always said no, and there's been rumours that have went on for full windows, and the player always stays where he is. But like, that's a player that's finally went, you know what, I'm coming. Even Laporte, he turned down Man City 2 years ago to join. He turned them down. City had the bidding all in, and Bilbao accepted the offer, and he turned it down. He didn't want to go. So there's players there that are changing their mind, have said no in previous years, and are now saying, you know what, that Premier League's doing things, I want to go there. So yes, I would say that there has been maybe not a change, but there's been a how would you explain that? From players outside of the Premier League, there's been a view of maybe this is the place to be. But then again, you could argue against that, saying Coutinho thought the opposite. I think the Spanish League's a place to be, but I think that was more club based. That was more he played in that whole boyhood club thing, didn't he?
You have to sort of look at it. When you come over to England and you're playing in the friggin' pishy wet, it's cold. While you're over in Spain, it's tops off and it's good warm weather. Your family and all, your house has a pool.
I'd say there's a
It's like
few
luxury.
footballers in England with a pull in their eyes.
Aye, inside, but I mean outside.
Who gives a fuck?
But no matter who you are, if it was Man City, Kevin De Bruyne, and Barcelona, Real Madrid came calling, it's like De Gea with United. You know, he was on the verge of joining United, or not United. Sorry, Real Madrid, and just because of some technical issues, it fell through.
I know. I would have done the world a favour, like, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think Real Madrid and Barcelona, with the reputation they have, what they want, they get. You know, they got Gareth Bale in from Spurs, Ronaldo from United, Toni Kroos from Bayern Munich. You know, the list goes on. Whoever they want, they get. And that's why I think you're beat. Once Barcelona take an interest, the players, I mean, Coutinho forced his way out of Liverpool. They had no intentions of selling, but he paid 2 million or something of his own wages to actually push the move through, and it just shows you, he shows that he wants Barcelona. And in fairness, he gave 5 years to Liverpool. Yes, we didn't really win trophies, but you know, what can you do? You only have so many years in your career, like.
Yeah, true. Just on our Instagram page. So again, I've said it a couple of times across the stream, but there's boys leaving and joining flat out here. So, Instagram we're on. I've just put a post up there saying that we're live on YouTube. Just noticing your picture there of Bobby's Dazzler. So get on there, follow us on Instagram. Be greatly appreciated. Just on that, do you see the picture of Wagner and Klopp?
Yeah, I thought that was
Best
actually
man
pretty good.
Weddings. I done the text and all that image myself, so our Instagram is the place to be. Twitter will be for all your sort of live updates. Instagram, you're lucky if you get something one a day. Twitter, hopefully a couple of times a day. We'll be keeping you live, especially on a day like this, transfer deadline day. Facebook page we haven't really pushed, but that's why we're crying out for your help. Would appreciate anything you've got going on, following, liking, sharing. Honestly, it does so much for the stream. Where else are we? YouTube. Also, our podcast is on iTunes. It's also on, what's that other one called?
Patreon.
SoundCloud. Yeah. SoundCloud we're on. SoundCloud and iTunes for the proper podcast. You can get it on YouTube as well, but might be better off streaming it through the likes of iTunes. And then again, we're on Patreon, which is obviously we don't get paid for this. This is just like a hobby. So we're looking, any sort of support on Patreon is greatly appreciated. We've just set that up there this week. So just to run you through in case you don't know what it is. All our content is available on there. You can also pay to get extra content that Jordan we're going to have to start putting out once we start getting our first Patreons. So to go in, what you can do is you can sign up. Jordan, this is probably new to you as well, is it?
Yes, I don't know what the hell you're on about.
You can sign up for rewards. So I've went with basically it works for, it's in dollars because it's an American company. So for $1 a month, you can be what's called a defender. So keep the lights on at the podcast, allowing us to produce a podcast as much as possible. So like obviously there's a lot of laptops, mics, equipment to keep all this going. Whereas for $5 a month, you can be a midfielder. As a midfielder, you're providing assists to the podcast, basically allowing us to acquire better equipment and improve the overall production and quality of the podcast. So it's basically just entry-level defender, midfielder is the midway, and then the striker is for the people that really want to help change this. The whole LFC tribe is what are we, an organisation or what would you say, a tribe? So for as a striker, it's $10 a month. As a striker, you're
You're the goal threat to the podcast, allowing us here at the LSC Tribe to produce the best content available. Not only will you be assisting us in increasing quality, but also in volume, freeing up more time for us to produce these podcasts on a more frequent basis, allowing us to complete more videos like your player ratings, do live streams such as this, and basically just have more content out there for you. We appreciate every single bit of the support that we'll get, and we're just emphasise that it's not a necessity at all. You don't have to, but all Patreons will be greatly appreciated, and there's certain rewards for each one. So if you go over and check out our Patreon page, it would be greatly appreciated. Everything, Twitter, Patreon, the full works, is all at the LFC Tribe. Most of it, there's no underslashes, spaces, capitals. It's all just at the LFC Tribe. So get back to transfers, I think, is probably the best.
The biggest news has just been released.
News.
Liverpool have moved up to third place after Chelsea being beat.
Yes, please.
So Liverpool
run down there through a table for most of them.
So City are in first place with 68 points.
Yep.
Second place is Shite United on 53. Then it's Liverpool 50, and Chelsea on 50, and Spurs are 48. So Sunday game, Liverpool and Spurs. If we beat them, we're 5 points clear, and if we lose, they're a point ahead of us.
Yep.
So crucial game.
Don't go on and do a wee bit of a breakdown, score prediction, team, or do you wanna, or
Well, is there any transfers coming through? Well,
Not really. It's very dark.
we'll check this, and if there's nothing, we'll break down that match for you. Wolves can announce that Ben Stevenson has joined the club from Coventry City on a 2.5-year deal, and will now join Colchester United on loan until the end of the season. Yep, so that's done. Just that trio. One in, one out. Scunthorpe as they sign right back Marnik Vermaile on loan from Preston, and send Sam Mampton to Southend. So a wee bit of lower league action going on there. Apart from that, the transfers are very, very slow at the minute. So hopefully we'll get a couple more to bring to you. So make sure you stay tuned for that. So yeah, do you want to go in and
break down? Instead of breaking down the match specifically,
do you want to go in and we'll review the fixtures coming up for all the teams? Just because trying to keep it a wee bit, what would you call it? A wee bit more neutral today rather than just focusing on Liverpool. So Premier League fixtures. Two seconds, we'll get this up. So we've been streaming for an hour and 23 minutes. It's the longest podcast was around 40 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Getting there. And we've just went into the final hour of the transfer.
Doing. So
this is make or break time now.
So what have we got coming up here? I'll run through the fixtures then.
Do you wanna? I'll call them out. You wanna give a score prediction each?
Yeah.
Burnley, Man City.
I'm gonna go for a 2-2. Because I think Burnley
at home too. Ooh, I like it.
I think Burnley are a good defensive unit.
I like that too. Each.
I think, I think a draw. Don't think Burnley will beat them.
Nah. Well, remember United, but was that Boxing Day? They were 1-2 now. I'm gonna go 2-1.
City.
I like to think Burnley would get a goal at what do you call it? Turf Moor.
Turf Moor.
So right, 2-1, and you went 2 each. West Brom, Southampton.
West Brom, Southampton. I think, just from recent results, I think Jay Rodriguez is on good form since scoring the 2 goals, so I think he'll come back to haunt Southampton. seen Southampton were actually linked with Quincy Promes,
Right.
but that deal failed due to Spartak not being able to bring in a replacement, which we were linked with Quincy Promes, and to show you that if Southampton going in for me mustn't be that hot.
Yeah. And whatever happened with that transfer that time?
I know it's the same as Alex Teixeira.
Fuck, do you remember him?
Was it last January? Was it?
Much were we rumoured to sign him for? That would look like fucking pennies now, wouldn't it?
I thought it was like not 30 million,
Yeah.
maybe. Don't
That
know.
sounded dear at the time.
Right, well, so what was your score prediction for West Brom Southampton? Sorry?
I'll go for 2-1 West Brom.
Bottom of the league to beat Southampton. Oh, I like it.
I'll go for us 1 each.
We should probably write these down, should we?
I'll write them down
Right.
now.
So do a Jordan column and a James column. We're gonna score, so make sure you tune into the podcast to see who was right. Anyone we're
What's the
offering?
first one?
It was Burnley Man City.
I said 2-2, didn't I?
Yep, I said 2-1 City.
Next one was Southampton.
West Brom Southampton. There's currently 7 people in the stream here, so anyone want to give their score predictions for next week's Premier League fixtures? We're going through them now. We'll record them down, and then you can tune into the podcast to see how you done against us.
What was your predictions for
I
the
went
West Brom?
1 each.
1 each. Right. Keeper lit.
Next one, Manchester United versus Huddersfield.
Say that again.
Manchester United versus Huddersfield. Do you want me to say it again?
You said it properly.
Manchester United versus Huddersfield.
Shite United versus Huddersfield. Right.
Score prediction.
I'm gonna say it'll be a scrappy match, so I'll go 1-0 United.
I would have said something like that, but then fuck me, like Liverpool fucking had a clean sheet to them. I'm gonna go 3-0 United.
Next up,
Bournemouth Stoke.
I think Bournemouth. I think they're in good form.
Well, they've just beat Chelsea. That's fucking rocket science there, Jordan.
Exactly. Tactics.
2-0 Bournemouth.
I'll go 3 Bournemouth. 2-3-0.
Jesus. Right. Moving on, Leicester City, Swansea City. That's a fucking hard match to call that, isn't it?
Who's this?
Leicester City, Swansea City.
I go for the Swans.
Flip me. Suppose you're probably gonna have Mahrez missing. He's probably fucking crying. Fuck, away though.
I'd go for be a 1-0. 1-0.
1 each.
Swans. 1 each. Right, what's next?
1 each. I went. So, Brighton West Ham.
I'd say West Ham. Go 2-1.
Yeah.
Go with that.
Do you want to see him 2-1 again?
Yep. 2-1 West Ham. Then that's Saturday's fixture. So now Sunday. Sunday has a line. Oh yes, please. Crystal Palace Newcastle.
This is a hard week to call, isn't it?
Palace, Newcastle.
1 each.
Yeah, I think a draw.
Just copying my result.
It's just the one copy to the last one, you crettin.
And then the biggie, Liverpool Tottenham. We owe them.
All I'm saying.
What was it, 4-1 to beat us?
Fucking something like that. We owe them like. 4-1 Liverpool.
Christ. I think it'll be
You have to fucking pay them back. You have to.
maybe 3-2.
Oh.
It'll be
The Liverpool?
yeah, high scoring game. I'm not predicting any more upsets because it seems to go that way after Swansea.
It's an our team that's going to attack you and you fucking come at them like. That's what I'm thinking. But anyway, right. So that, and then Monday night, Watford Chelsea. If things go to plan, we're gonna have a podcast on Sunday. So this still will be untouched, but we'll put the scores down anyway. Go.
I think Watford are after sacking your boy Marco Silva. I don't think your other fellas been too hot. So Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Chelsea got beat tonight by Bournemouth, but
They've got
Giroud.
Giroud. World class
What's his wee
striker.
song?
Oh. It'll come to me.
Someone write it in the comments. We have 52 minutes left of transfer window. Russell heading to the States. Derby County forward Johnny Russell will be leaving the club. He's signing for Sporting Kansas City in the MLS. Russell was out of contract at the end of the season. Has turned down a new deal as he wanted to play in the US. Boss man, as such as they're called. Just on that, that's reminded me. What about? Did you hear about Beckham?
And
Got approval for an MLS team. That'll be a fucking, like, people, maybe not so much for the club, but people will be wanting to get on that Beckham legacy, like, won't they?
beyond that, and it's probably a good chance to get playing time. I mean, you see now, City, they've got the sister club, isn't it, New York City? So a lot of the academy players would go over and would start and get their game time over in the MLS league. It seems that's a league where all the players go to finish their careers.
Yeah,
Like the Pirlo, Lampard, Gerrard, Beckham. It still is a very competitive league. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not quite the same class as the Premier League or La Liga, BVA.
Yeah.
Any more?
There's Alan Shearer on giving a fucking rant on Twitter.
Arsehole.
Breaking news, Mansfield Town boss Steve Evans has fought off interest from a number of clubs to capture the services of prolific goal scorer Miller Boy. That's his Twitter handle. On loan at the Posh Official until the end of the season. So it doesn't actually have his full name on it, but let me get that for you. Ricky Miller has joined Mansfield Town. We are creating headways in the transfer deadline day with fucking, what's Mansfield, League 1, League 2?
Non-league.
No, they're not. They're League 2. What's the chances if we didn't stream tonight that we would have signed Lamar and multiple other freaky men?
Or what happens if it's 10 to 11 and you see this
Jurgen Klopp alarm. We should
Jurgen Klopp just
next season we are having a Jurgen Klopp alarm.
alarm.
That once Jurgen Klopp brings the credit card out, the alarm goes off on the stream. Merp, Jurgen alert.
If you can make that and do it. But I just picture on a big stage with the big red curtains. It comes 10-2, just fireworks come off and the curtains open and it's Naby Keita and Thomas Lamar just walk out in Liverpool shirts, signed, all done. Sure, where's this mystery sign we're supposed to get? A load of balls.
True. Righty. Why is it so dead on the transfers? We're gonna give it the 10:30, and if not much is livening up, we are going to call our quits because I don't see multiple stuff happening.
There's Burnley have came out and says Sean Dyche confirms there will be no deadline day deals at Turf Moor. So that's Burnley ruled out.
Just tuning in here on Sky Sports, they're discussing the Lucas Moura, saying it's one of the key transfers of the whole window. I'd have to agree with that, to be honest.
I hope it's a flop.
They're saying one of the inspirations there is that the balance of the books, which what we mentioned earlier, wasn't it?
Yeah, financial fair play.
Another thing that we didn't consider was that Kylian Mbappe is on a loan deal. So for next season they have to pay 160 million or something to make that permanent. So you can see why they're trying to offload certain players. Like, it probably makes a bit of sense. But then again, I think he's worth more than that.
Same way we were linked with Javier Pastore.
Yeah,
We always
he
linked
was
with him.
he was linked with a few clubs.
He was linked with the Gooners. But I think Arsenal have, with selling Sanchez, I think they've actually gotten stronger. With who they've brought in with Mkhitaryan and Aubameyang. Definitely.
Yeah. What about, we'll go back to that Swansea deal for Ayew. That's actually coming through. That's a club record fee, £18 million. That's going back like a couple of years. That sounds about right for a club record in the Premier League, doesn't it?
But you think with clubs, with that TV deal that came in, what was it, a split of like 300 something
I'm not
billion? Or
sure.
something? 300 billion?
18 million isn't a lot of it, is it?
No, you would think with all the Sky Sports, all the TV, BT, all that money, that the clubs would get a good share, but it seems like, I don't know, like the teams like Swansea and Burnley, they just seem to have the funds to go out and buy these players.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? Do you reckon clubs like that can get very easily left behind? Do you reckon that's why they are so low in the league, or because of transfer actual spend or records like that? Do you reckon that has a big say?
Well, I think it's yeah, I do agree with that. I think they are being left behind. But I think the Premier League of football should do something like the NFL, like drafts.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
To
Something
make
just
it more
change it.
make it more fair that the best player in the draft will go to the weakest team, or I think that's how it works. Something it evens it out over the years. But
You can see why certain leagues like that do that, can't you? Sort of
Yeah.
even it up and bring some of the...
But then you look at the like of Leicester, the year they won the league, like they didn't have much money. Like they were only maybe 1 or 2 years promoted from the Championship, and they've gone and they've won the Premier League. So it just shows you, if your team plays a team, and guess if you have some fortune, you could do wonders, miracles, whatever.
Yeah. Well, in terms of transfer, there's not much happening. We're going to do a roundup here closer to the deadline, but we'll just go through. So, what about Mangala? Was there any development in that? So check that out while I run through a few of these. So, start of the night, we highlighted Mangala, the watch. That was one of the key things that looked like happening.
He's actually doing his medical, it says, on Sky Sports.
Right, so we've had development. So we've highlighted 3 things at the start of the night that we thought that was worth watching or looking at. Mangala being one, who's currently doing a medical at Everton. That might have been slowed down the fact they actually had a game tonight. So that's ongoing. Ayew to Swansea went down as well. It's a done deal. There's pictures and stuff there of him on Twitter and Sky. So, and then the other one was just discussing really the transfers that had been, that trio transfer between Aubameyang, the Arsenal, Giroud to Chelsea, and Batshuayi to Dortmund. It's basically like a trio swap. I have enabled on the stream that you can go back, so if you haven't been here from the start, you will be able to go right back to the start and watch it through if you so please. You'll be able to catch up on all that. VVD, so Virgil van Dijk, probably one of the bigger statement transfers, I would say, over the window. Club that really needed somewhere in a certain position, have just didn't say no, he's too dear.
Oh, no way.
What is it?
Yes. Bolton are near a John Flanagan loan. LFC
Ooh.
News.
That's breaking. So I know that a lot of boys in the stream are all Liverpool related. So we have breaking Liverpool transfer news. Jurgen Klopp alarm burnt. We were hoping to bring you some, but maybe not that type of news. But his whole court thing and all, the fact that they're keeping him, on the books.
He only has a couple of months left in his contract. So, shit. He was only sort of kept. Well, everyone sort of liked him because of the Scouse background, bit of a hard nut. But he was never gonna be a starting 11. He reminds me of a player who just plays in the Championship. Sure, they used to call him the Scouse Cafu. I think I was just far from it.
I'm just looking at the breaking news. Newcastle boss Rafa Benitez, after his side's 1-1 draw with Burnley on the prospect of Islam Slimani joining, we still have time and I cannot say much. Was that not a confirmed deal earlier?
What's that on?
Slimani, that's on BBC. That is updated.
I'm pretty sure it was. How long?
It mustn't have went through the system yet. Well,
oh, he's undergoing a medical.
Right, so that was a wee bit of a confusing one, that Benitez says we cannot say much, we still have time. Sam Allardyce, we're getting a lot of manager comments here, due to the fact that all the Premier League games have finished and they're getting interviews. I think most managers actually have to do an interview, so that's why we're actually getting comments. So Sam Allardyce on Ademola Lookman's decision to join RB Leipzig. It's one of the most unusual situations I've been in. It was his choice. He was adamant he wanted Germany. We tried to persuade him not to, but his stubbornness got him his way. So it sounds like he forced his way out. Hugill going, so that's Jordan Hugill is closing in and finalising a move from Preston North End to West Ham. He has already underwent a medical, so that's waiting on paperwork. That's a Premier League transfer that I've heard absolutely zero about. John Bostock has signed for Bursaspor. If you're asking who John Bostock is, when he was just 16 he joined Spurs from Crystal Palace, and has joined Bursaspor at the age of 26 from Lens in France. So yeah, breaking news. We're We're just waiting on the breaking news here. Slimani coming through my left ear. 2 seconds. He's at St James's Park watching the match. He's been there since this afternoon, and it's as close to done as possible. Just needs to be submitted to the league, the paperwork. Slimani has a bit of confusion that he technically failed his medical due to a thigh injury that he sustained in training for Leicester City at the start of the week, but it shouldn't stop the transfer.
Wow.
That's what's holding it up.
Allardyce says that Mangala's close.
Mitrovic's loan deal has fallen through at Anderlecht.
Has it? Did they not buy him off from Anderlecht?
Mitrovic is now in talks. He has flown back from Belgium from Anderlecht, and he's now in talks with Fulham in a last ditch attempt to get a loan deal. Martin Dubravka is also undergoing a medical at Newcastle, so Newcastle being fucking extremely busy. One outgoing in Mitrovic, who had to fly home from Belgium, from Anderlecht, because they tried to sell a player that fell through, so they had no money to sign Mitrovic on loan. So he is trying to get a loan deal sorted to Fulham, while Newcastle are trying to sort out Slimani's injury, and they have a goalkeeper and both doing medicals. Slimani not failed his medical, but had a thigh injury which they were concerned about, and there's a keeper who I've just said his name and forgot is also currently undergoing a medical, so there's a possibility of 3 transfers, so we're starting to heat up a wee bit.
Yeah, the last hour.
Yep, so we're starting to heat up a wee bit here on the transfers. What we have been looking for. So, as I said there earlier about the comments coming in from all the managers, Pep Guardiola's just had to say, Mahrez is a Leicester City player. I don't talk about it too much. The transfer window is over, so the guys who are here will finish the season. Is Pep Guardiola's view. So, depressed Mahrez for the rest of the season by the looks of it. And can confirm that the last time I touched on it was 7 minutes to go. Tottenham have beaten Manchester United 2-0. Yesterday he made the first training session, just passed the ball, but today we saw how good he is. He made an amazing performance. We are so happy for him. That's Pep Guardiola on Laporte. Apparently had a blinder of a game tonight.
Have to tune in and watch match today.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that actually. Actually, it's probably on now. No, it wouldn't be, would it?
Is it definitely on tonight?
Yeah.
For anyone watching outside of the UK, Match a Day is probably one of the most famous football TV programs. Basically, is all the football highlights from the Premier League. And what does the FA Cup as well, doesn't it?
Or ITV does it? I don't know what I'll do. Match day, it's all 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock, so a bit of a late one. So we'll get all the transfers sorted, and then we will be able to bounce in the Match a Day. So yeah, Pep Guardiola, that's him confirming that Manchester City, I don't think we were expecting much there, has confirmed that the transfer window is over in his eyes.
In my opinion, I think this January window has dragged on. It feels like it's been on for a year. It's been that long.
I know.
I am so happy it's coming to an end. It's had ups and downs through it, but thank goodness it is near over.
So we're coming up here. We're 10 minutes away from 2 hours, so we're probably going to start wrapping things up here. Yeah, and there's Sky also reporting that Mahrez is confirmed that it's too late now for anything to happen, even though the player tried to force a move. So
Well, why would you leave it to the last minute?
true.
Why?
There's so many people do this every single year.
What's the point? If you want to move up and make your move and give it time for them to get a replacement, that's just doing the dirt in your club. Like, if at least Coutinho, well, we didn't actually make most of getting a friggin' replacement, but, you know, he gave us time to try and find one, at least.
Well, that's the thing. You look at the grief that Liverpool have got for not signing a replacement, so maybe Leicester looked at it and goes, right, well, we're not going to sign a replacement, so go last minute so it doesn't look like it was the club's fault. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I did refuse all offers from City, so it's a bit.
If they would have offered 95 million, I would have fucking struggled to see them declining that, like. But
I wonder who the player was they offered.
see, they don't show that in case, like, the likes of what happened and it falls through and then it just looks like fucking shit that, oh, we didn't want that player. Like, how can that player ever play for you again? Type of thing. But what do you want?
Rumor has it was Sergio Aguero.
Ballad. There's very little happening. What about wrapping it up here?
Yeah. Go for it. Well,
So, there's currently 3 people on the stream, so stream for an hour and 15 minutes. Let us know what you thought of the stream. If you liked it, we might do this in future for podcasts and stuff, or
yeah,
maybe
mix it
just
up a
throw
bit.
in even the odd midweek one, just something different. Even Champions League games or something. Do something a bit different. So let us know what you think. We'll just stream down big transfers. We've had Aubameyang, Giroud, Batshuayi, Van Dijk, Coutinho, Sanchez, Mkhitaryan, Walcott, Lucas Moura. Shout out any of the big transfers you know of, Jordan. I've most of the biggies in it.
I wasn't actually listening. Is this on deadline day you're talking about, or the whole January?
Just transfer window in general.
Right. Well, obviously Van Dijk, Coutinho, Sanchez, Aubameyang, Sturridge. Well, it's a loan, like.
We
But
also have an award to give out. That the most random transfer rumour of the window was Peter Crouch to sign for Chelsea, and I decided that.
I've seen they were asking for Emily Heskey to come out of retirement and sign for them. But do you know what could happen? And deadline day in the last hour. Anything can
Anything
happen.
goes. So that's us wrapping up. Would just like to say a big thank you for tuning in this stream and watching. Please subscribe and like and do all the
Wait,
social
how
media
long
stuff.
there's a comment on the YouTube from the Gunner. Any news on Manolas to Arsenal? I actually haven't seen anything or heard anything.
That's Roma centre back, isn't it?
I find it strange if Roma sell any more of their players. I mean, it was rumoured that Jacko was going to go to Chelsea, but it sort of fell through. And Manolas is probably their best defender they have. But sure, Arsenal signed that Greek wonder kid, whoever he is, so just he'll be pairing with Koscielny next season. So all's
Well,
good in the hood.
Give a big shout out to the Gunner. I've replied to you there. Thanks for the comment. Too late now. Will remain a Roma player. I think that's safe to say. Be happy you got Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan and Ozil signing a new contract, new player basically. So I'll shout out to Jacob LA. I asked who's enjoying the stream and he said me.
Right, so thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been an enjoyable stream. Lots of stuff got covered, lots of stuff, interesting topics we went into, and so hopefully, all the Premier League games fixtures, will all be good games, and we'll hopefully be back with a podcast or a live stream on Sunday to on our next podcast.
Yes, so jumping in there, we done score predictions for each of the matches, so you can pull back a bit on the stream, get our score predictions, write yours down, and tune in on. We'll do one on Sunday night's podcast.
Yeah, on Sunday night.
So and we'll break down our score predictions versus what the scores actually were, so you can see how you done against us, and we will give you a shout out as always. So I'll let you wrap it up. You open this stream, so you can wrap it up there.
Yep. So thanks everyone for listening to the stream. Definitely been enjoyable, good experience. I hope you have a good end of the week. Whoever you support, they do well, bar United. So yeah, have a good week. Take it easy and tune in on Sunday night. See you later.